I guess how do you know when you want to dive into some separate asset classes? I've been doing multifamily for a while. I kind of want to do retail, industrial.
Great question. There's a couple things to look out for, right? By the way, okay, so we're going to talk about expansion. So a couple things to look out for, right? Now, obviously for expansion, there's two ways to do it. You can obviously do it geographically. We're going to talk about asset classes though for you, okay? The question here is to be thinking about specifically around where is your baseline right now when it comes to your ability to make more money? What is your ability to do so? Where, as an example, are you in a place right now where you feel like you're plateauing? Do you feel like you keep hitting this point where like I can't make more money than this? You're doing 5 to 10 transactions a year, maybe 20 transactions a year on this one asset class, and you feel like you just keep, you don't have it's really hard for you to grow. Are you in this place where like you're like, hey, I'm just not closing a lot of deals here, and I want to change because like I think there's the grass is greener somewhere else.
Well, I'm in a, what you call it, like an A-class market
Yep.
here in Wisconsin.
Yep.
Madison's a really good market,
Yes, it
really
is.
safe. I have all these, so I'm doing mainly multifamily here. So it's tough to get a decent deal
Sure.
done because everybody kind of knows what their stuff is worth.
Yep.
And then I got like stuff south 45 minutes, it's like Janesville, but they're not big cities. They're 45,000 people. So there's not a lot of multifamily. But when I look, there is a decent amount of industrial, there's a decent amount of retail, there's a good amount of other things. And I feel like I can also be prospecting. And I don't know if I should just keep recalling my multifamily lists and just keep doing that around where I have or
Yeah.
expand out.
I just want to say this, right? When it comes to expansion, again, you only have geographical, okay, and then you have asset class. When you're expanding, there's really only two ways to do it. I like to just be cautious of asset class expansion, only because you have a lot of buyers right now who want multifamily. And for you to then expand into this another asset class, right, you're then going to have to build up a whole brand new buyers list. Asset class expansion takes longer. You have a much larger horizon of a closing ability, right? Like you can do a lot more transactions when you have the ability to close multiple different asset classes in a specific market. So obviously there's a lot of pros here, but the cons are this time horizon can be very long. I'm always a bigger fan of geographical first, right? And then asset classes second. Now, in your specific market, that, Madison is a very, it's a tighter market. It's a very high demand market, like we were explaining today. So I can understand why you feel like you want to switch asset classes, but how much geographical expansion have you done period?
So I'm out in Milwaukee. I've done Chicago, Minnesota, or Minneapolis. Those are all within 4 hours from me.
Yeah.
Chicago's 3 hours. But I guess I had this idea that I could do that, or I could go different asset classes. I never found buyers that hard. I mean, a really solid VIP buyers, not easy to find, but I've never find buyers super difficult to find if I can find a deal.
Agreed. I agree with you. I just think that, but again, it's not that they're hard to find. It's not hard. I'm just saying this time horizon is very long. What I'm experiencing based on what you're telling me, Amani, is that you actually have expanded geographically and you're just not closing more deals.
Yeah, I mean, I've really only gone here, like Madison, Milwaukee, Janesville, Beloit. Milwaukee's an hour, maybe 15 from me, and then the rest of them are probably 45 minutes. And then we have this place called the Wisconsin Dells. That place too.
Interestingly enough, I think multifamily is one of those interesting asset classes that has kind of run flat in a lot of ways, especially the smaller stuff. It's just not as hot as it once was, especially with interest rates being crazy high, where retail and industrial, in my opinion, has a little bit more strength during these interest rate periods. Now, look, what I'm experiencing, at least, based on what you're telling me, Amani, a couple things are coming to mind. One is I would love to better understand your lead generation strategy, because to me, if you expanded geographically just any one asset class, like one asset class, okay, you should be able to just triple your business, at least double. But if you haven't done that yet, it just means that you're not cultivating the business appropriately across the geographical expansion you've done. Is that making sense?
I mean, that makes sense. I guess that's kind of my question. I think I'm kind of at a pass whether I should expand, crossroad, whether I should expand geographically or delve into new asset classes.
Yeah. So
it sounds like geographical may be the way to go. Milwaukee has plenty of stuff. Like Milwaukee's a decent sized city.
Yeah. So I just get worried. So let me explain my thing here, right? What happens is that we expect when we do X, like new strategy, okay, which is like, you go from, doing multifamily as an example, in X location, okay, to now doing multifamily, let's just say statewide. Okay, so now you have a much larger geographic expansion. Okay, so we think that this time horizon from dollars today to future bigger dollars in the future is going to be short. We underestimate how long this will take. So what I just want you to know is that this period of time, which again, I'm telling you, if you do it appropriately, I've rarely seen somebody make, number one, less money, but less than a double by doing this. Because your pie of ability to sell real estate has now at least, 5 to 10x, right? The pie's gotten 5 to 10x bigger, so it's easier to sell deals. It's easier to find deals, right? And there's more deals to be had. So it's much harder to make less money. The question is just how long have you been actually, really pounding the pavement of trying to sell, across larger geographic locations?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds super great. So it sounds like geographic is your recommendation.
It's always first.
A better way to go.
And I don't want to say better, but it's first. They both should be done. You should eventually, I think over a 3 to 10 year time horizon, anybody, this is not a 12-month plan. It's just like, hey, how do we go from, let's just say 100K today, right, to $1 million plus? In this plan, it does mean, adding or expansion of geographics. It does mean also asset classes. It means both, but it doesn't mean both at the same time. And it doesn't both mean, it means like, it doesn't mean both at the same time. And it also doesn't mean that there's, as an example, like I would say that the 100K over, this might be 3 to 10 years. Right? This period of time. And from 100K to 500K could just be geo expansion. Get to 500K first, right? Get to 300K first, right? But it's like, it's not, hey, I'm still at 100K and I've been doing this for 4 weeks. I'm not saying this is your case, right? But I'm just saying, I've been doing this for 4 weeks or even 4 months and I haven't closed any new deals yet. I'm like, okay, well, your problem isn't then the expansion of geographics, it's how you're going about it. It could be your lead gen. It could be your follow-up. It could be your buyers list. It could be all these other factors, right? It could be all these other factors, which is what I'd rather us focus on because I think, if everything else is working well, like you have this, vehicle, this is a really crappy car. And if everything else is working and all you now did was that you gave it the ability to go farther, you will have a bigger business. But the problem is that, like, if the fucking tires are flat, if the fucking, the steering wheel's missing, the fucking, there's no seats in there. Like, what the hell's going on, right? Like, you're telling me to go, but the engine's great. It's got a fucking amazing engine, yeah, but it's got no fucking wheels and no steering wheel. So it's like, I want to figure out the root problem. Because, like, again, this works when everything else is working. So let's figure out the root problem. Let's do a deep dive. How many leads a month are you generating?
I'm hitting about 40.
40 leads a month. Okay, good.
I think really I don't think I have a serious problem generating leads. My follow-up's getting pretty good. Okay. I think it's honestly just the amount of time that I've been doing it. I kind of know how long it takes from from doing residential wholesale. It takes a little while to get started. So really my question is like, hey, I think I'm ready to start expanding in my market or expanding geographically. Okay. I think I got my question answered here. It's geographical.
Great. Yeah. I would definitely start there before you do the asset class. But like, just out of curiosity, also, how much time are you spending on the buyer side of your business?
You mean prospecting buyer leads?
No, not just prospecting buyer, but it's everything. Like pitching deals, prospecting, working on like how many true offers typically get a month?
True. My goal is 3 a week. I hit that pretty consistently.
Okay, so then I'm wondering is why are you not closing more deals?
Because I haven't been. I mean, I closed deals in residential, but right now I've only been doing this.
No, I get it. I'm just saying if you're doing 3 a week, again, like it depends on what the actual metrics are. Because like again, if you're telling me how long have you
only in commercial?
Yeah.
Maybe 2 a month, 3 a month.
Okay, 2 to 3 a month. Okay, and how many months has that been?
I think I've been here 2 months.
Okay, great. So I'm saying for 2 months, so that means you've gotten a total of how many? It means you have a total of what, 4, 5, 6 offers?
Yeah, probably 6 or 7. That's probably fair.
Total of 6 or 7 offers. Amazing. Okay, so that means what I'm experiencing, and by the way, how many different deals is that? Is that one deal you got 6 or 7 offers on, or you have like probably 2 or 3 different deals?
No, I'm only counting true offers as every single true offer I've made.
No, I understand that.
So
And
I've
true offer, which means you had
yeah,
a buyer who made you an offer. Is that on one specific deal or several deals?
no, several deals. I'm saying I have 7 deals that I've had 7 different true offers on.
Okay, got it. Okay, so hold on. Now this is getting interesting because, like, again, all these little all these little things are important, right? So you have 7 different deals. How many actual offers have you received on 7 different deals?
So I've brought 7 deals to X amount of buyers, maybe 3 or 4 different buyers.
Okay,
On each of those deals, I've gotten an offer out to the seller.
gotcha. Okay, what was your
We've
feedback?
Yeah, we've countered, but most of my sellers are, they want 1.3 million. We broke down one. The guy wants 1.3 million.
Okay,
It's probably worth 1.1. I pitched it out for 7 to him immediately on the phone, and then I had a guy come in
okay,
and say he'd pay 9 for it. So then I repitched it at 9 to the
okay.
guy. So I had my starter offer at 7, true offer at 9. That's just one example. We got a couple more that we're doing like that.
Understood. Okay, so again, what I'm based on what you're telling me, right, is just like these 7 deals that you've done this with, it just seems to be slightly overpriced.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, not even
again,
overpriced. Yeah, some of them are overpriced. Some of them are well priced for the market, but I got guys that they're not going to pay market price.
okay, so then yeah, I was gonna say, so I'm just saying I'm trying to get a little bit more of a clear idea, right? So
Yeah.
all you need to work on is the following things, dude. Number one, you need to strengthen your buyers list, like tenfold. Okay?
Okay.
Strengthen your list because your buyers list right now, dude, is weak. You have a very weak buyers list. Anybody in the world who, like, if you have a buyers list, by the way, and this is very common, is that you have a buyers list of people who just want to buy 9 and 10 caps, right? These are
Yep.
like, obviously, of course you'd buy it at a fucking 10 cap. No shit.
Yeah, they want deals.
Yeah, they want steals, right? It doesn't make any sense. They want steals. Okay. I don't like working with people who want steals. I will actually tell them that to their face. And I'll say, like, listen, like the odds of me finding you a deal based on your criteria, the odds of me finding a deal that is so good that you would buy it is going to be fairly rare. So I'm just curious, like, like, unless you are even going to be in the realm of paying somewhat near market value today, like a 7-ish cap rate. I'm not trying to tell them, I'm not trying to tell you to buy a 5 cap, but you can't be buying things at 9s only. Like, I'm not going to be your guy.
Yeah, you find a 10 cap, you're gonna buy it yourself.
Exactly. Why the hell would I bring it to you?
Yeah, totally.
Number one, strengthen your buyers list. You need a lot more higher quality people who are willing to pay closer to market, and there's plenty of them out there, dude. Like, how many people do you have on your actual VIP list?
25.
25.
But not all are commercial. Here I can look how many I have commercial. Probably 10 in commercial.
Okay, so you have about 10.
Yeah, I can get you like the exact number in a sec.
That's okay. I'm just but this is really, really important here. And also, by the way,
I have six. Six commercial guys that I think can take something down, above $1 million.
Okay, hold on. So I'm putting in this is the buyer side of the new script book that's coming out, guys. Okay, this is script book 2.0. This is the script book, buyer side of that script book. Make a copy of it if you don't already have a copy of it, but make sure you have access to that. Okay, Amani, I would try to get to like 20, okay, or more, maybe 20 or 30, but like strong players that are not looking for fucking 10 caps. Because when you have 20 players in a market where they're willing to buy, anywhere in that geographic region, right, and you prospect and you find some interesting opportunities, you will sell them. I understand if you had a strong buyers list of people who all want to buy very similar product, they all want to buy X or similar to X, right? Maybe it's anything that's similar in this concept, okay? And you had like 20 to 50 of them on a list. And you know that these are all relatively strong players. They're all people, you have their contact information, you have all their criteria, all the information. What is the likelihood of you selling a property of X?
Sorry, what was the
scenario? Is you have a very strong buyers list of people who are very qualified. They've shown
it's good.
They have bought properties
that
are similar to X. Right, and you have 20 to 50 of them on this list where you have all their information. You can give them a call in what I just want to understand, like, what do you feel like is the likelihood of you being able to sell a property that looks like X?
Very good.
Okay, great. How confident do you feel about your list?
Less confident now.
That's so. Well,
I feel.
I don't want you to like. It's not supposed to be a mystery as if your buyer's list is good enough. I can tell you with 100% confidence with my buyer's list with our team that if we found a deal that looks like X, we will sell it. And I'm not talking about a fucking 10 cap, right? I'm talking about, like a slightly better than market price deal. Slightly.
Yep.
That I want you to be able to say with confidence. And what does that need to look like? What does that list specifically look like? Tell me, what do you feel like it looks like?
It looks like 20 to 50 buyers that I know their criteria in a certain area or cash wise that are buying things.
Yep.
I don't know, buying things actively. They bought things in the last 2 years and they own over 5 properties. That's the list I pull for my buyers.
Amazing.
Own over 5 properties, bought in the last 2 years in a certain area.
Okay, great. How many of those specific people do you have on your list?
6.
You have 6 of those types of people.
I mean, yeah, that's the list I pulled. Those are my only buyers because I didn't do any commercial before this. I got one guy that I have from my previous. That's fine. So 6. I got 6 guys, but they're
all I'm trying to say is like, hey, you
specific.
feel that confident with your list. Like I'm saying, of the 6 people you have, you feel like they're strong, they're ready to buy, they have the qualifications like you just mentioned.
Yes.
Okay, great. So now the goal is just saying, hey, get these people more deals, right? Get your list more deals, right? Okay, and you also want to continue to add to this list. If you're generating, let's just say, like, look, what I'm experiencing is that, you're in this position, dude, where you're inches away from starting to do a bunch of deals. You just need way more people on there and need to show them more deals.